What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Something's Burning with Bert Kreischer, YouTube cooking show, produced by, part of the All Things Comedy Network, the podcast network. There's, a lot of podcasts that are filmed that are part of the network, so you can watch on their YouTube channel, the All Things Comedy channel on YouTube. You can watch shows like Bert Kreischer's show. You could watch, actually, I don't know if his show's on there. He has his own feed. But the stuff that's produced in-house, like Punch Drunk Sports, What's Happening, Fool, or What's Up, Fool, and some other ones, Tinfoil Hat, and there's a bunch. There's a bunch of podcasts that are part of the network that produce in their studios that are on that feed. But they're also producing live, like hosted shows. Like there's a camping show with Brooks Wheelan, I believe his name is. Bill Burr's driving etiquette show. There's the poker show where a bunch of comedians get together and play poker. So there's kind of like produced content. I think they're also producing stand-up comedy as well. But Bert Kreischer's show is one of those produced content, a cooking show by Bert Kreischer. That's a very, I want to put controlled chaos, controlled in quotation marks there, because it's definitely chaos. Many episodes are very chaotic, but every once in a while, most of the time actually, it's very rare that within the chaos, while with the like completely unprofessional manner of cooking show that it is, it seems that he ends up, which I don't know if that's just, they pre-made stuff and then they're bringing it out, but I want to think that a lot of it's real, that some of it actually turns out good. Or maybe it's just, they're acting like they love it at the end. Either way, so he picks out, I don't know if Bert does, but somebody picks out these different recipes for them to make that are kind of themed to the guest, usually 2 guests an episode. A lot of comedians, but not all comedians. There's different people there. But he picks a recipe out usually that kind of relates in some way to the guests, and then they try and make it. And Bert Kreischer, it's a very difficult time for him to wash his hands a lot of the times. He's very, very unorthodox as far as his cooking. So he's but he's also doing an interview show in a lot of ways while he's making this meal. Sometimes the guests help him make the meal. Sometimes he's just on his own. But it's, when you have a hilarious comedian like Bert Kreischer, who's a professional at hosting shows, you're getting really entertaining stuff, really entertaining guests. Some of my favorite episodes, probably the most recent one that made me die watching, was Adam Ray and Brad Williams. They also do a show called About Last Night, I believe, and they were guests on the show. Brad Williams is a little person, so drinking is something that happens on the show pretty regularly. For those that don't know, Bert is fat as well as an alcoholic. Some call him the most racist comedian on earth. I don't know if I subscribe to that belief, but it's out there. It's in the orifice of the universe as far as things that you could call Bert Kreischer. So drinking happens, and Brad Williams, being a little person, can't handle. He's not gonna break any records drinking, and hilarity ensues. Bobby Lee and Chris D'Elia was a hilarious episode. The T-Fat K guys, Bryan Callen and Josh Brolin. I'm blanking on his name right now. Brendan Schaub. And Danish and O'Neill, of course, was a hilarious episode. They're always funny. Also, their episode on Bert Kreischer's podcast, the Bertcast, they're always hilarious, too. I don't know if I think they've done 2 episodes on the Bertcast. But yeah, and I don't even remember what they made necessarily for all those episodes. I know the Brendan Schaub and Bryan Callen one was a seafood. I remember they had to dissect crab, I believe, was the seafood that they were hilariously ending the life of. But it's fun. It's funny because Bert, it's basically like Bert Kreischer has clearly cooks a lot. Like he definitely, or at least eats a lot, but the fact that he's able to kind of just be chaos and not like really ever learn how to cook, or at least look like he learns how to cook, like, but still throws stuff together that ends up being tasty. It's like almost like he's doing a magic trick. Like he's over like doing this conversation stuff and having funny interviews with guests in order to distract from him actually, measuring shit out somehow, or getting things done without lighting himself on fire, or burning his eyebrows off or whatever. But it's definitely I don't really give a shit about cooking shows. I follow a couple like grilling accounts on Instagram, which is kind of the closest to a cooking show, just seeing if there's any ideas that look like something I might want to try on the barbecue grill. But it's just a fun, like, it's the only cooking show I watch because it's the funniest cooking show that there is, and it's hilarious. And the episodes aren't like super long or anything like that, but it's definitely fun. I have yet to be inspired enough by one of the meals to actually try and cook any of the meals. Now, most of them, I mean, they did an outdoor barbecue one with, I think it was Steve Renazizi and Ari Shaffir. And I think they just did like hot dogs. I don't know if they did anything special necessarily in that one. But that might be an episode, if I go back and revisit, that would be a recipe. Since I cook all of my meals on a grill primarily, that might be an episode I'd go back. But nothing really stood out. It's all about the guests with the show. I'm telling you, Bert Kreischer, Something's Burning on YouTube. I don't think they do an audio version of it. I think it's just a YouTube show. But go check it out on the All Things Comedy Network, All Things Comedy on YouTube. But check that out. I love the show. New episodes of this show, The Ray Taylor Show, come out daily. Subscribe on IGTV and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week in advance over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. InspiredDisorder.com for all of my original artwork. Go buy some paintings now. Save 10% when you use coupon code INSPIRED. At Ray Taylor for me on all social media. Have a great day, everybody. Peace out!